fact about me. My grandma was a professional artist for a very, very long time. And when I was really little, she taught me and my little brother how to make our own Harry Potter wands. It was super fun, it was super easy, and I used to make them all the time when I was a little kid. And I was making wands like this at elementary school age, so you know they're easy to make. And now that more and more people, including myself, don't feel comfortable buying official Harry Potter merchandise, we don't really have many options when it comes to getting our HP swag. That being said, I know how to make them, so I thought I would share it with you, and no money goes to JK Rowling. That being said, let's get started. Here's what you're going to need. Paper. For this, I just use plain printer paper. A hot glue gun. Hot glue gun sticks. A glue stick. You're also gonna want something like skewers, pieces of paper, pencils, things to put inside your wand to give it structural integrity. Scissors! A paintbrush, something to put your paint on when you're painting. I have this really fancy artist palette, but you can use like a paper plate, a napkin, paints. I have a brown paint, a black paint, and a metallic gold paint. But you can use whatever colors you want because you're making it. Just do whatever you want. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? The first thing you're going to want to do is take your piece of paper and roll it into a cone shape. This is going to be the shape of your wand. This part is definitely the hardest part of the entire craft because if you don't get this right, the rest of the wand's gonna look weird. If you want a thinner, longer wand, make sure to roll it tighter. If you want it to be a thicker wand, make sure to roll it looser. And do not be afraid to stop and start over. So take your time and be careful. This is what it's gonna look like when you're done rolling it. Next, I took a glue stick and put it on the extra flap and rolled it up tight so that it's nice and secure. When I was little, I used to use tape instead of a glue stick, but the paint would not stick to the tape the same way that it would stick to the rest of the wand, so it looked really weird, so make sure you're using a glue stick. I wanted to get rid of this little point at the top of the roll, so I just went ahead and cut it off. And again, if your wand is too long and you'd like a shorter wand, you can also use this opportunity to cut your wand shorter. But I liked the length of the one that I had. Now it's time to give our wand a little bit of structural integrity. It's literally made out of paper, and it's hollow. So make sure you take the time to make sure that it's structurally sound. I do this by putting in some wooden skewers. I've put pencils in before. I've just wadded up paper and put it in before. You're gonna want to do that or else it's going to bend and tear and snap very easily. And I don't know about you, but when I was in elementary school and I played Battle of Hogwarts, I could not have my wand snapping on me. Also, in the Harry Potter universe, a wand's core is very important. That being said, I don't have phoenix tail feathers just lying around my house. You can use cool rocks, cool leaves, flowers you find that you like. Both of the wands that I'm making today are gifts to two of my really good friends. I love them so much. I love them so much. And since I'm making these wands as a gift to them, I decided for the core of the wand, I would write them both sweet little notes, just talking about how much I like being their friend. I know they're never going to see what the notes actually say, but I think it adds a nice little magical touch. So that's always something fun you could do. You could also just write your favorite book quotes, or if you're making it for yourself, a message to yourself, anything sweet that you want to use as a core. Or you could just completely ignore a core because it is a fake Harry Potter wand, so it does not really matter if it has a core or not. But I just think it's a nice detail and like I know it's there. The part of the wand that's definitely the least structurally stable is the top of the cone. That part has the least paper and it also has the biggest hollow section, meaning that out of all of the other parts of your wand, it's most likely to cave in. To counteract this, I take my hot glue gun and my hot glue sticks and just start filling my wand with hot glue. And when it dries, it's going to be solid. And this is gonna give the more hollow part of your wand some more structural integrity. Before I do that, I like to crumple up some pieces of paper and throw it in there because hot glue is expensive and I don't want to waste all of it. But I am going to use a little bit to give it a teeny bit more structural integrity. I'm also going to build this hot glue up to give the shape of the back of my wand. This right here is what it looks like. This is what I want the back shape of the wand to be. And that section right there is going to be built up through hot glue. Now that the hot glue inside of your wand is dry, it's time to start building up your designs. I built up all of my designs also using hot glue, making any patterns I want. Don't really require anything other than hot glue, but don't let this stop you. Do whatever you want. You can buy gemstones and put it on there. Don't be afraid to use other objects. I remember I made a wand a couple years ago that was inspired by Cinderella and I used a Barbie shoe as part of the handle so it looked like a little slipper. But this is your part to go crazy. Don't worry about the color schemes or the things you're using. We're going to be taking some paint and painting over all of our hot glue designs. And then the hot glue blends into the rest of the wand so it just looks like it's made of the same material as everything else, even though it's not. Now that you've you've added your first layer of paint, you can probably see the wand starting to come together. Once you've done your first coat of paint, I usually give it a second coat of paint of just the base color and let that dry. And now it's time for fun little details. I took a dry brush and used a dry brushing technique to give both of them some metallic gold on the handles. Dry brushing is basically taking the most minuscule amount of paint humanly possible and just dusting it across the surface of your wand. For this wand, I used lots of dry brushing when it comes to the handle. I went over all of the vines in metallic gold and then dry brushed the areas around it. For this one, I wanted a darker vibe. I still applied some gold paint, but I did not do it nearly as thick, and I mostly just dry brushed it apart the high areas of the handle. And again, you don't have to just dry brush gold and use browns and blacks and whatever. Do whatever you want. Add whatever details you want. This is your wand. And essentially, after you're done waiting for the paint to dry, and if you like how the dry brushing looks and you like all of the details and you think you're finished, you're done. I'm happy with how both of these turned out. This same technique can be used to make so many different wands. I love making Harry Potter wands, and I think they turned out so good. I mean, look at that. Oh my gosh. But even with just these two, you can see how I made two significantly different wands using the exact same technique. These are super, super easy to make, and I hope this was an easy to follow along DIY. If you make any Harry Potter wands, please share them with me on social media. I look forward to seeing all of your amazing creations and the kind of stuff that you do, because it's gonna be so cool. Just a reminder, I post new videos every single Saturday. Thank you so, so much for all of the support you guys have given me lately. I'm having so much fun. I cannot wait to keep making content. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye!